everyone, Intuitive Kathleen Miller, and this is your May 2026 Intuitive Energy Forecast. And we have yet another incredible momentum building off of April, now in the last couple days of April. If you remember and you watched the April forecast, it was around, the Fibonacci spiral, really releasing a lot of outmoded energies, which again, that theme is going to continue this month. But May is really fascinating. May is, there's more of an internal, it's a really different, recalibration is a word, but I don't feel like that's a strong enough word to really articulate how this month of May is going to be changing, because we are really, moving from external coming in to returning to the source spark and beginning to create from out the inside out. And so it's very ether, very mental body, as well as our physical body. And the first point is really returning to that source spark. Even though we do this in meditation, we do this in work, but it's really this entire dynamic of connecting to source, which a lot more often than not is this outside connect. And this is really about returning to source spark in a way where we are literally sitting within, and source is within us, and everything, that internal, infinite molecule that we are and that we are in and of, that we're really allowing the quiet. It's almost like a total eclipse energy, where it's a very quiet return that is very internal, very, very, it has a very feminine nature quality to it. And so a lot of the other months had a lot of outside rearranging energies, and even that Fibonacci spiral is a quiet kind of return to that natural flow. And now this is a more deliberate focus of really returning to that source spark. So it's continued release. We still have our outer noisy lives, the noisy world, the media circus, and so those aren't going to go away, but it's having to be able to be more aligned with this source spark while that's happening, so that you are really clear in that internal direction that is coming from your connection to source. Very, very important. This is also merging with the ascended self of our ascended higher self, and living as that source self more. So very, very powerful. That's going to be continuing through the next several years, but it's really the energies from this last, the spring equinox. And now as we go into the summer, it is a window we are in that's allowing a source alignment like never before. And so with that, the contrast of noise is at a level it's never been before. The jarring, the distractor grids that are more active to distort are higher. So this is so, so important. So I cannot stress enough the importance of a personal practice that is you and you and you, and very, very quiet, very, very honoring that, because you're honoring the self, you're honoring the body, is an absolute have to, in my opinion, to be able to be doing this one well. So that's number one. Number two is defragging the outside in creation. So often when we're manifesting, creating, whatever you want to call it, it's, I'm waiting for this factor, I'm waiting for resources, I'm waiting for all these external things, which is true to a degree. But more often than not, it's the metrics of outside proof and outside validation and outside pieces coming together, which really, we need to defrag this mode of creation and really be able to, again, on the heels of number one, which is returning to source spark, it's being able to, because of being aligned in the source spark, we're beginning to create and move from the inside out. So it really is a complete 180 from what we've been conditioned to, programmed to. It's all, we're inundated around. And if you think about it with, strained resources and all these different things, part of this returning to source spark is realizing the infinite abundance, but it's also beginning to create these higher dimensions from the inside out, from this internally inspired, this divinely inspired place. And this will help to detox the distortion, jarring that's happening, and also more of the outmoded systems. And I'm even finding things I was using at the beginning of the year are even outmoded now. And so if you're finding a lot of old practice, and I'm a very disciplined in so many different practices because I live healthy lifestyle. It's my work. It's what I be in the world. And I found that just really it's like a Rubik's Cube, doing it differently, following the flow of, okay, this route's not working anymore. This, whether it's dietary or activity flow or focus. And so really changing up and acknowledging how you be in the world, how your environment is, what do you require that's going to help to support you with where you're going. So that is a bit of a defrag, and I find just a continual purging, not only materially, but also in, again, the way you're moving in the world too. So very powerful. And again, this is going to be ongoing, but there's going to be quite a bit of either real clarity of awareness of choices that you could be making or doing differently that will be healthier and would be supporting you to thrive and where you're going, or that are necessary for you to get to those next steps. And so really listening and honoring that, even when it's a little bit scary. One of the things I let go of just this weekend was I had lots of sweatshirts and t-shirts and things with my business logo and my all of my logo stuff. And I found that some of them, they just had an energy that's outmoded. And because I am revamping some things, I am doing things differently. And I thought, wow, I'm first of all so attached to these. And yet I'm aware of this upgrade that's happening and needing to, and I have really, we've all done this where we start to put it in the Goodwill bag and we take it out, or we start to get rid of it and we're like, maybe not yet. And so the awareness of the push and pull and the resistance to releasing, because it's familiar, because it's, who, like, identity points you're connected to. But I found that, well, first of all, they're really worn out and needing to be freshened up, but also, hey, let's redefine this. Let's reconfigure this, even though it's the same logo, it's the same thing. Let's really update and refresh. So it's a new energy. It's a new upgraded energy, because on the backside of defrag is the upgrade. So we've got to be doing that work. And that's going to be different for each of you. So that's 2. And then 3 is coherent creation momentum. And this really is, as we are moving from this coherent space in the heart, and we're really aligned, and we're really considering the multiversal whole of what we're creating. So that's the planet being included, our community, all that we're affecting in the world. And we're doing it from this loving space. We're doing this from, I want to, impact the world because it brings more peace to the world. I want to impact the world because I'm so passionate about well-being, and I want that for everyone. And I want empowerment. I want this empowered sovereignty for everyone. And so let me build that vision of what the passion is for me specifically. So you be doing this for what is passionate for you specifically. And then really tapping into those harmonics, which then begins to magnetize. And so you're creating the vision from the inside, which in and of itself, those harmonics begin to pull the people, the more coming to you, whether it's a path crossing or, again, those pieces coming in that you're not trying to push and pull and make the engine go, from all these external pieces, but you're holding that vision and the coherence of it, which then brings in the dream team, the life, the flow of it, and really embodying it before it's here, which that, we've heard this, and we've heard this circled in a lot of manifestations, which there is such a power in visualization, but this is more really the embodiment of the clarity of the bigger picture in every dimension of what this is going to be creating. It's how do I say this? It's going further than just the one-time experience. It's really allowing this, like, how is this going to affect what the planet, the revitalization of the earth, and really, similar to Native Americans, when they really made big decisions or they wanted to create or take care of the tribe, it was, let's consider the 7 generations. Let's consider far beyond what I'll even live to see that I'm wanting to have impact on. And so that care and that true desire to be inclusive with everybody, everything being considered in that is that true power of heart coherence. And that power is really, really globally impactful when it's done without agenda. It's done from a very clean, pure place. And so trying to tap into, not trying, but choosing to tap into that and begin to develop it. Because I don't think until we really get to a space where we're clean and clear from everything what we're doing in our human life first, and then from moving into these higher ascended states of creation, which we are still human because our body is bringing that and grounding that here on the earth. But as we simplify and clean and clear our life, that coherence is sort of that natural next piece that begins to come in. So very powerful month. And as you can tell, a lot of these are very internal. They're very, there's a lot of quiet to these. There's a lot of power in just silent stabilization, because as we're just quietly peaceful and we're quietly anchoring this for the world, it is really sending ripples across the planet. So trusting that. I know sometimes I can feel that too, where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm solitary, and is this too quiet? And yet realizing, okay, I know that when it's time, all the other flows will be there when it's time, and I'm going to just do my best to really stay present with what's required today. Because if it was meant to, the people, the activity, the movement, the travel, it can't not be there when it's time. So trusting that, really being in the flow and grounding the mental body, because this is so ether mental, a lot of grounding practices often as possible is very supportive for that too. So I hope this is helpful for you. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. And you can always leave comments below, or if you have questions, or if you, of course, feel like facilitation would be supportive for you on your journey. I do virtual facilitation with clients around the world. And so those can be booked at intuitivelifestylesuccess.com. Otherwise, check out my podcast, all the other wonderful goodies to help support you as much as I can on your journey, because we are in wild times right now, and stability, core stability is the name of the game for this year, but also for the collective and the planet right now. So really committing to that and knowing that it's contributing to so much more beyond yourself. So thank you all again. I'm Cathleen Miller, here for you. Thank you. And I hope to see you soon. Bye. Be well.